Oh, hey guys, I didn't mean to scare you there. Or did I? Ooh. Happy spooky Halloween! Happy Halloween month! As you know, this is the month of October, so we've got some spooky episodes coming up back to back, 3 weeks in a row. I'm not going to tell you which ones. Well, I'm going to tell you which ones today, but not the ones coming up. It's going to be a surprise so scary you'll scare yourself serially. Okay, so disclaimer, this is going to be the first episode of a new experiment that no one else has ever done before in the serial review industry. It's called Scare-O-Vision. Ooh. I think that's better. Okay, so whenever you see this image below, I'm going to post it. I want you to scream. I want you to scream for your life. Oh, is he going to eat all that cereal? Oh, it's a scary cereal. Oh, yeah. It's kind of interactive. This is something no one else is doing. But I love you guys so much. I'm already reading the comments on the first episode, and I was thinking I got to do something special for these people. I've got to really bring them into what I love to do, into what makes my gears go round in my head, and that's reviewing cereal with a twist. And we've got a big twist for you today. So just stick around. Remember, when you see, go ah. Ooh. Was trying to use my tie like a vampire. Okay, so what to do for the first episode of a trilogy of scary cereals? Well, I was thinking about that. I was really puzzling, and trilogy is what stuck out to me because we want to start out with respecting the legends, folks. And I can't think of any way better to do that than tackling the monster cereals. Yes, not just one, not just two, all three. Because that's how we do things on this channel. Now, I did come into some problems when going for this approach, because not all the stores keep the monsters together. You know, these guys love each other. I like to think they're brothers. That's never been officially canonized, but in my head, they're all brothers. They love each other. Maybe they live in the same house. We're going to talk about that later, but the stores don't keep them all together. They're separating them. I saw this documentary about triplets being separated when they're born and how it causes problems both in their lives and their well-being. And this is what they're doing to the monsters, the monster cereals. That's what's monstrous if you ask me. But ever the professional, I scoured every store until I found them all. Now, first things first, we got our Frankenberry. Oh yeah. Then we got our Booberry. Now, here's where I came into the challenge. I got these two together, but I didn't see our good friend, the Count. Which Count? Oh, Count Chocula. The king, so to speak, of the Monster Brothers cereal. So, I got these two at Kroger, but Kroger didn't have Count Chocula. Very disappointed. Boycott Kroger. Then I went to Target. Surprise, surprise, they didn't have the Count. Boycott Target too. I think they're called Target. I think that the Count is a target of exclusionary practices, if you ask me. But let me tell you, folks, there's a little place out there called Walmart, and they still have some respect for the legends, which is why I'm proud to present to you, reunited at last, Mr. Count Chocula, family size, which might as well be king size, because let's face it, he's the king. You know, it's nice to see some respect for royalty, and I almost wish I could be a fly on the wall to have all these three together and see what they might say. Wait a minute.
Oh, hello, Cereal Connoisseur, it's me, Booberry.
Oh, hello.
Hello, it is me, Frankenberry, aha. And don't forget about me, it is me, Count Chocula. Ah, ha, ha, yeah.
Guys, let me be the first to just say what an honor it is to have all three of you here. I feel like I'm David Letterman, and I've got the whole Brady Bunch reunion here. This is something. First off, let me just say how great it is to have you here. I love all of you, and before we get started to the review, is there anything you want to tell the audience at home watching this right now?
We just want to say to buy all of our cereals, because the cereal industry is dying rapidly, because millennials are skipping breakfast and not eating enough cereal, which makes us monsters sad. Ooh, very sad.
Oh wow, this is something that isn't really talked about in the big media. They've always been very rude and dismissive to the cereal titans of the world, like you three. So I like to think that I'm giving something back.
Oh yes, absolutely you are.
Oh, thank you. Well, should we waste any more time? Should we get the review started?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone who remembers my review last week knows that the system goes on 4 points. Number 1, is there a mascot? Number 2, back of the box. Number 3, shape of the cereal. And number 4, dry and with milk taste test. Number 1, is there a mascot? I mean, is the Pope whatever he is? Of course there's a mascot. These guys are the cereal titans of scary cereals. I mean, who am I talking to? I know who I'm talking to. It's you three. Count Chocula. Right there on the box. There he is. He's happy to be offering you this scary treat. I'm gonna get onto this later. This doesn't make me happy. This is very, very insulting. Frankenberry. Look at him. He's also happy. You don't see a single frown in any of these three faces, which is what I love. They're all happy to be here, to be offering you their cereal, and to be together. Let's face it, I can't help but wonder if the smile would be on these faces if I hadn't brought them all into the same place. And of course, Boo Berry. I know these two are kind of based on famous characters. I'm not sure who he's supposed to be the ghost of. Maybe he was, I like to imagine he was a man who loved cereal so much he ate it all and maybe died of malnutrition and became a ghost. And now he can eat all he wants without any repercussions. While we're on the backstories, let's... Frankenberry. I like to think maybe Frankenstein, that's where the Franken comes from, based on a movie, I think, loved cereal so much he wanted to give it back to the dead, because the dead can't consume cereal unless they're a ghost. This is kind of like the dark universe they're making for the monsters in the movies. It all connects with one another. So he brought Frankenberry back, and now he gets to eat all the cereal he wants. And Count Chocula. Oh, where to start with Count Chocula? He also came back from the dead. All three were dead at one point, and I think they let go of bitter lives. Because it's the bitter truth that you can't eat cereal your whole mortal life. Wish we could. That's the dream, isn't it? Some curse, or more of a blessing, if you will, brought him back. And now what's he doing with his life? He's not going out drinking blood. He's drinking milk from his delicious cereal. That's all he needs, and that's all I need. That's all any of us need. Oh, wow. Alright, here's the back of the box. I'm gonna admit, I'm not crazy about this, because as you'll see, I mentioned this briefly on the front, we have this. Something called, what is it? The Addams Family. Never heard of these people. Don't know what family they belong to, but you do not bring riffraff into the home of legends, let alone onto the back of their cereal boxes. I want to see what these three are doing, uninterrupted, without some cross-promotion from a movie that nobody's going to see. Look, I even saw this. How frightfully fun. The Addams Family is trick-or-treating. Can you find all 8 tricky mistakes? Well, here's the first mistake. You got the Addams Family taking up precious cereal box space for titans, absolute titans of their industry. Another thing I noticed is pumpkin carving stencils. Now, I could have gotten them some points if they actually attached the stencils to the box, but you will find that you have to download these off of a website. I mean, if you're like me, you don't know how the internet works, you don't know how a computer works, and all the kids out there eating this cereal are probably gonna be worse for it. All I can imagine is they're gonna try and draw their own stencils, and because their kids are gonna be horrible, they're gonna look like crap. They want the professional stencils right there on the pumpkins, and you shouldn't have to go to some website to get it. That's just me. So I don't know who puts this stuff out. Who is this General? It is the General. I'm gonna write to you, General. I'm gonna say, give the Titans their dues. I know they look happy, but anyone could have drawn that. I think Frankenstein has the right response. He's horrified that this is intruded on their loving home, their humble abode, and I know this changes every year, so General, do right. Next year, 2020, I want to have these three in their own domain, the masters of their own cereal domain. And if you don't, there will be hell to pay. Alright folks, now we're on to round 3. This is the shape of the cereal from left to right. I have Mr. Boo Berry, Mr. Frankenberry, and the Count himself, Count Chocula. Let's go through each one. You're going to see the same traditional shape for the corn-based cereal texture. They're like little ghosts, I think. I think this is when they all died. This is the form they took before ascending to the new roles they were taking. And you'll notice that they're the same shape, but they are different colors, which I think does give them their own brand of personality. I think a lot of people out there might criticize them for not doing anything unique with the dry cereal, but in my mind, since they're all related, this is actually ingenious, because when you're related to someone, you look like them. You know, you have the same features right down to identicalness, which is all there. Now on for the marshmallows. This is a cereal with marshmallows. Now we're going to see a lot of this in the future reviews. Marshmallows and cereal go together like a lot of things. The shape of the marshmallow. Now this is, I think this is supposed to look like a ghost. I think this is the body. Those are the two little arms coming off to the side. Now people might criticize this because it doesn't look quite as coherent as it could. But I like to think this is the soul, and a soul can really take any shape. So it's actually kind of ingenious that they were very loose in their interpretation and had some artistic integrity, which isn't something you see in cereal these days, since it started getting a little PC, I've noticed. For Frankenberry, this is, I think this is the shape of Franken. Those are his little legs, those are his arms. He's kind of waving at you. Again, maybe could have been a little clearer, but these all come from a simpler time when you can just have simple shapes and the kids eating them knew what they were. You don't see that nowadays. As for Mr. Chocula's, this marshmallow was supposed to be in the shape of a bat. I think you can kind of see that, the two wings coming off to the side. This is a fatty bat, I like to think. Maybe he's been eating a little too much Count Chocula, and maybe he's too heavy, he can't fly anymore, but I'm actually gonna give you guys an exclusive little trick that not all the other cereal reviewers do, is you can actually make an old man out of Count Chocula. Here, watch this. Forgive me for pushing you guys aside. You take the head, two eyes right there. Now you take the marshmallow, and put that ever so carefully. Ever so carefully. Ever so carefully. Ever so... There we go. Look at that. It's an old man. Oh, the stories he could tell. Alright, folks, we're doing our dry taste test to kind of get a feel for the cereal without the milk. See how it tastes. I did the Franken and the Boo Berry together since they're fruitier, which is separate from chocolate. They've kind of got it's like a wine. They've got a nice bouquet, a nice fruity, detecting some blue, the blueberry. Fun fact, that's what Boo Berry is based off of, and the jury is out on what Frankenberry is supposed to be, but if I had to give my expert's opinion, I would say it's a strawberry. It's in one of the redder berries, as the pink flavor indicates. Now I'm gonna give the Chocula a try. They call him the king for a reason, folks. This is your typical chocolate, but the marshmallow, I think, really brings it together. That's good. So this is your typical chocolatey flavor. I think the marshmallow really brings it together. It has kind of a s'mores consistency, so to speak. Big fan of the Count. I like to write to all of the monsters and let them know how good their cereal is, but this is without the milk. So let's try it with the milk. Okay, we're about to do our with milk taste test of all 3 of the monster cereals. Now, I got a bowl out, but I'm sitting here looking at these guys thinking, these are the monsters. These are titans of their industry. They deserve something a little more fitting than a rinky-dink cereal bowl. Yeah, piece of shit. Okay, I actually got something in store for you folks, and it's gonna blow your freaking minds. So you folks at home are all sitting pretty thinking, well, if he's not gonna use a bowl, what is he gonna use? I'll tell you. None other than a skull. Oh yeah. And what better way to deliver the vessel to this dark chalice than a cauldron of almond milk. Ooh ha ha ha. Alright folks, we have our dark chalice to do our dark bidding of this cereal full. You'll see I have all 3 of the monster cereals mixed together. My evil brew, so to speak. This is something no other cereal reviewer has ever done in trying all 3 at the same time, but you know, these are the brothers, the Boo brothers, so to speak, so I want to make sure that they're all together to really shake things up. We have our cauldron full of almond milk. It's even got a little witchy bubble at the top, as if some eye of toad and newt have been added in there or something. I wanted to have a themed spoon instead of just a traditional spoon. This is the best I could find. I don't know where I got this, but whoever that is, he's kind of wearing a costume, which is the theme of Halloween. So yeah, our dark bidding is complete. The sinful trilogy, so to speak. Now, let us combine the evil. Oh, it's like brains. Oh, a little spill. That's gonna happen. It's an evil spill. Spills are evil. So it's. Ooh ha ha ha. Everyone, you are about to witness for the first time the first cereal reviewer to ever eat out of a skull, with milk delivered by a vile cauldron, with a spoon of the original Halloween jester himself. Let's see how this tastes. That's the stuff right there.
How does it taste, Blake?
It's delicious, Count.
It was a very good idea to combine all the cereals.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. It was actually my own idea. I'm such a fan of you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frankenberry. This is actually... my goodness. The combined power of the monster cereals eaten from my dark chalice delivered by my dark vial of milk is doing something to me. I can feel the energy of all 3 titans of their industry, the monsters, coursing through me. You know what it makes me want to do? It makes me want to bust out into song. I was going to the kitchen late one night to get something for my appetite when I saw on the counter a gruesome thing that came to life and started to sing. It was a skull. A skull of cereal. No, not a bowl. It could not be real. It was a skull. My fate was sealed. It was a skull. A skull of cereal. From the blue blueberry that was very sweet to the chocolate count and his baddie treat. They all convened
happened in this gruesome place? And did I mention it's dishwasher safe? It was a skull. A skull of cereal. No, not a bowl. It could not be real. It was a skull. My fate was sealed. It was a skull. A skull of cereal. Ow. With a spoon. Ow. With a spoon. Ow. With a spoon. Ow.